going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my review for Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 6, which was titled Just In Case. Gotta say, very good episode. I think some points were a little slower, some points were a little, dragging on, but for the most part, I thought it was a pretty damn good episode. This whole season's been pretty damn good for the most part. I've enjoyed every episode thoroughly. I wish Nick didn't get killed off. I wish they kept him around for a little longer. I know the actor wanted to leave, I know, but that's just my only complaint this season. It just felt like the death didn't fit the time well, just like a lot of other deaths on the show. But I think it'll work, and hopefully the ending of this episode is not the way I think it is, because I personally don't think it is at all. I do not think John died. A lot of people were pissed about that, but I don't think he's dead. He just got shot. Doesn't mean he's going to die. You know, they wouldn't spend a whole episode developing him if they were just going to kill him off. They wouldn't do that unless, obviously the actor had to leave. But he's a new actor, They wouldn't do that. It's only 6 episodes in and he's a new actor. So I promise you, I think John is alive. I'm 95% sure he's alive. The other 5%'s maybe they'll kill him off. I don't know. But 95% of me is no, he's not dead. Not at all. So don't worry too much about that. A lot of people are complaining about the multiple timelines that are going on. People are saying it's confusing and all this other stuff, and it's leaving unanswered questions. You have to realize that's the whole point of it. It's going to be just a half a season. They're not going to do this for the next half season, I'm pretty sure, which is a good thing, I think. But I enjoyed how they are telling the story this way, kind of, in some ways. It's actually kind of interesting. I think it's all going to, connect in the end. In episode 8, it's all going to connect. And the reason why I like it is because it makes you think. It makes you wonder, how did they get to this point? You know what point they got to, but you see the story unfold and see how they got to that specific point. You know what happens in the future. You know what's going on. Instead of it dragging on for 4 or 5 episodes of, because let's say they split it up. Let's say they split up the everything that happened in the past for the first 4 episodes and everything that happens in the future for the last 4 episodes. Wouldn't the first 4 episodes feel a little dragging on? They would feel a little uneventful, you know what I mean? I mean, interesting stuff happened in the before timeline. Interesting stuff did happen, but it's not enough for it to push the storyline in a direction where people are very much attentive to it, because you're more attentive to it when you see what's happening in the future. You see all these new things happening. You see people like Nick dying. You see Morgan coming onto the show. You see all these new characters being introduced and these new problems arising. And the question is, how did they get to this point? Where's Madison? What happened? Why are they all pissed at the vultures? What happens? And it gets you interested in the storyline. So it's a smart way to get people to come back into the series and keep watching, because you want to find out what happened. If you just tell the story normally, there's really no interest in that. There's more of an interest of what's going to happen next, not how did this happen or why did this happen, and it makes you question things. And I enjoy that. I enjoy having all these questions. I had a bunch of questions at the end of this episode. I was confused. I was like, why the hell did Alicia just shoot John? I was like, why the hell is Alicia pointing her gun at Morgan and John? But I realized we're going to find out next episode. We're going to find out episode 8. One of these episodes, we'll find out. But I already figured out kind of why she shot John. She meant to shoot Naomi. And why did she shoot Naomi? We're going to find that out, though, because we don't know exactly what happened. I'm assuming she did something with Mel, and maybe she's the reason that the stadium got attacked. And I think the biggest question is, what the hell happened to Madison? I don't think she's dead. A lot of people are thinking that. I don't think she's dead. She's basically the main character of Fear. She's basically the Rick Grimes of Fear. So I believe she's still going to be around. I just don't know where she is exactly. She could be anywhere. She could be freaking captured by them. I don't know. Whatever. One thing in particular, I really like this villain, Mel. I really like him. I think he's one of my favorite villains Fear's ever done. Actually, I don't know. If you count Troy as a villain, I think Troy's my favorite. I still love Troy. Troy's but this guy kind of reminds me of Troy a little bit in some ways, not in the same sinister ways as Troy, but in some sort of a similar. They look alike a little bit, not really, but sort of, I guess you can say. I don't know. He just reminds me of Troy, and that makes me happy because I like Troy. He was a great character, and Mel so far is seeming like an interesting character that I am actually starting to really enjoy as a villain. We haven't really seen much of him other than him talking to Madison a few times, But in this episode, I don't know about you, but he looked like a badass. I don't know, him wielding the AK-47, he just looked like a pure badass. I don't know what it was, but his people did too. I'm very interested to see what happens with the whole stadium. I'm assuming they're gonna get attacked, and we're gonna be thinking Madison's gonna die. They're gonna make it look like Madison's gonna die, but she's not. That's my guess for episode 8. And that's the only problem with the storytelling that they're doing, is that when they're showing the before timelines, you know your characters are safe. You know they are, so there's no tension put on there. But the only character that we don't know about is Madison, so she's going to be like, like we don't know, sort of a thing. And Naomi in this episode we didn't really know, but then the end episode obviously revealed that yes, she is still alive, and like I guessed, like tons of other people guessed, and it was an interesting reveal. And then John got shot. It was really interesting. Now, this is basically Naomi's episode, honestly. It basically had character development for her from the ground up. We just had a long episode of, I mean, the majority of it was her. They had some really good action sequences. I enjoyed a lot of those action sequences against the walkers in the FEMA house, FEMA shelter, whatever you call it. And we started learning some of her backstory, and she's starting to be developed as a character, like a main character type of deal. So that's good. I'm happy about that. And we also got to see some more of Strand opening up to Madison, and kind of their back and forth relationship was being developed in this episode, which was good. We didn't see much of Luciana or Alicia, really, other than Alicia's big mistake by shooting John. But I'm really interested to see what's going to happen in the next 2 episodes. I think they're going to be action-packed, well-done episodes. I'm assuming, or at least hoping, that episode 8 is going to be like the big episode that's just going to have some crazy things happening. Maybe a character death or 2. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get a major character death because we just got Nick dying a few episodes ago. I just don't think they're ready to kill off another major one. There's just not many major characters left, to be honest. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. I'm interested to see what Morgan's going to bring to the table, because so far he hasn't really brought much to fear when you think about it. Like, he was in episode 1 a lot, and he was in episode 3 a lot. But every other episode, I felt like he was just a background character. He didn't seem like he had a purpose of any sort to the plot. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Morgan, because I still don't know what they're going to do with him. Because right now he's kind of taking a backseat, and not that I don't mind that, because it is Fear the Walking Dead. It's not The Walking Dead. We already got enough of Morgan. I don't need more Morgan. We have enough. Honestly, we have plenty of Morgan on The Walking Dead, so it is nice to see the Fear characters shine. But at the same time, I was like thinking, well, what's the point of him coming over to the show if he's not going to make much of an influence on the characters? Which he has made an influence on some of the characters. Obviously, John, a huge influence on John. But that's really it. I mean, Nick he had an influence on, but Nick was killed off, so that doesn't really matter anymore. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with him. I want to see a battle go down between the Vultures and the main group. I'm hoping to see that. And maybe we'll connect to episode 9, and maybe episode 9 we'll see like a present-day battle or something. I don't know. It looks like we're already getting a shootout in episode 7, the beginning of it, after John got shot by Alicia. It looks like we're already going to start seeing some people firing back and forth. So I'm excited to see that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.